Okay, 7th graders, in lesson 610, we're going to talk about what happens to your money when you put it in an account, like a savings account, or sometimes it's called a money market account. And if you are gaining interest, how to keep track of the amount of interest that you're accruing, or how the account is growing over time. So that's the theme today, okay? We've been talking about adding adding percentages, like when we're doing markup, finding the markup amount at a store, or to find the discounted amount over time. Sometimes the value of something decreases over time, and that's called depreciation. If something depreciates, that means that the value gets less and less over time. Okay? For example, when you buy a car, that car has value. If it's a brand new car, you could probably sell that car right away for pretty close to the same amount that you bought, but not exactly the same amount. Because every time a car is sold or miles get put on a car, the value of the car depreciates. It gets less over time. Okay? But if you put money in an account and you get paid from the bank for having that money in the account so they can use the account to make loans to other people, then they pay you something called interest, or an interest rate. And that rate then gets added to your account each year. So let's look at that first. Let's say that you deposit $1,000 into a savings account. Okay? So this is year. Let's say that we'll keep this in terms of how many years it's been in the account. So in year 1, in this first year, you put in $1,000 into a savings account. Okay? And then this bank, they're giving you a really, really good interest rate. Let's say that they're paying you 4% interest each year. 4% interest. Okay? Now, when we did this, let me just move this a little bit. When we did this in our last lesson, this is kind of like finding the markup. Because what we're doing is we're adding an amount that is 4% of the original amount. Right? So, this is 100%. And then plus 4%, how much then is the interest, the ending balance going to be? What is the interest, or the percentage that we're adding? Jacob? 4%. 4%, so the multiplier is
100%
plus,
4%.
which is?
4%.
Right, 104%. What are you doing?
I was putting my retainer back in my mouth.
Okay, never mind then. So, what is the interest amount? How would we find the interest amount?
You convert your interest amount into a decimal, and then you times that by your beginning balance, and that gives you how much interest you get.
Right. You know how much interest you gain? Find 4%, so 0.04 times 1,000.
It's 40%.
40. Interest amount is $40, isn't it? Yeah, that's really good. Yep. Usually savings accounts pay like 1% or less. Okay? So 4% is really good. What would our ending balance be? Yeah, $1,040. Now, what we're doing on our assignment is putting this on a chart, on a table. So in this first example, it's exactly what was shown. 1,000, the interest amount was $40 because that was 1,000 times 4%. That's where we get the $40. So the ending balance is $1,040. Then look at the second line of the table. What is the beginning balance in year 2? $1,040. So then we have to find the 4% of the new amount. 4% of $1,040. How much is that? $41.60. Right? So add that to the beginning balance of year 2, and that's $1,081.60. Okay? So we're getting paid interest on the interest that we earned already. That's called compound interest. When you get paid, when they pay you interest on the interest that you earned, not on the beginning balance of the first year of the original amount, but if you get paid interest on the interest, that's called compound interest. Okay? Now, you can see that each time the interest amount goes up by a little bit because you're getting paid that 4% of the interest that you've earned. So, let's say that you go to your assignment, and in a similar situation, the savings account pays 5% interest per year. You deposit $1,800, and then do not deposit or withdraw any other money. So we're only going to get paid interest. We're just going to leave that money there over 10 years and see what our balance is at the end. Okay? Now, what would be the, what is the interest rate again? What is the percent they're giving you? 5%, yep. So each time you're going to find 5% of the beginning balance on that row. So what is 5% of 1,800? Find that first. What is 5% as a decimal, Edith? Good, 0.05. So that's the multiplier. That's the number we'll use each time. So take out your calculator. And find 5.05 of 1,800. Maya? $90?
That is also what I have.
Yes.
That's what I got.
So the interest amount added is $90. $1,890. Yep. Okay. Then, that's the beginning balance of the next year. So you repeat the process. 1,890 times 5%. What is that amount? So $94.50. The next balance is $1,984.50. So you keep repeating that process, and by the time you get down to 10 years, you can see how much money you have in your account. Okay? Go to the back side. Like I said, sometimes the value of something depreciates. It gets less each year. And so in that case, you have to subtract the amount that it's going down. A car, for example, that was worth $12,500 in 1998, if the value depreciates by 15% per year, what is its value in 2002? So, if it depreciates or gets less, then we're going to subtract that amount each year. How would we find 15%? What would we use for our multiplier? For 15%. What is that as a decimal? Devlin?
0.15.
Yeah, 0.15. Okay? Now, when we did this for selling price or from the discount price, we knew that the original price or the original value.
What?
After. Oh, she said what? Oh, birds from you said that?
Yes. Oh, I heard a weird noise.
Okay, so please be quiet. I thought you were trying to get my attention. So the original value, and then 15% off, would give us a remaining amount of what? Jacob?
15% decreased from 12,500.
Mm-hmm.
First, gotta find out what 15% is.
Well, not to find the value, all we have to do is find the remaining amount. What would the remaining percent be? If it's 15% off. Yeah, go ahead.
That'd be 85%.
Yeah, 85% left. So each year, if we just find 85% of the original value, or sorry, of the previous value, then you'll find the answer. So each year it's just worth 85% of what it was worth last year. So it's 85% of 12,500.
So,
Find that.
okay.
Sophie, what'd you get? Aren't you following along? Okay, follow along. What's 85% of the original value? Of the original value, 12,500. So 0.85 times 12,500. 85% is the remaining amount after you take 15% off, right? And so if we find 85% of the value, we will get the next year's value. it should be $10,625. 12,500 times 0.85. Okay? And then if you continue that, that's what you'll get. So, I want you to do this for tomorrow. Finish this chart, finish the table on the first side to get the ending balance. And then finish number 1 and do number 2 on the other side.
Just those two?
Yep, just those two. Okay?
Number 1 and number